Hi everyone, Blue Jay Gamer here. Today I'm going to do a basic Scratch tutorial, get you introduced to the different concepts and what Scratch basically is. First you're going to open up an internet browser tab, and you're going to type in download Scratch. It comes up right here, and from there, click the first link, and you're going to want to hit this right here. I already have it downloaded, so what you're going to do is go through basic download procedures. You just put it in the file into your download folder, and then from there you just go through the normal installation process. So after you do that, you're going to want to open up Scratch after you locate it, and once you go in, it wants to open. There we go. And then what you're going to find is, that you have this cat on the screen. That's the main mascot for Scratch, and you don't need that, but I'm going to leave it there for right now. You'll notice these different tabs here: motion, look, sound, etc. Each of them are different scripts of code that allow you to manipulate sprites by moving them around the screen over here, or having them say something or change what they actually look like based on their costumes, which I'll explain in a bit. You can even change their size or where they are relative to other sprites on a layering system. You can make sounds play or make the sprites make sounds. There's a pen and a stamp function. The stamp will allow you to place an image of your sprite where it is, and then if you move it again, you can place another one. Pen will actually, at the center point of your sprite, if you put pen down, it will create a line, and I'll probably show that in a future video, and then you can change the color and the size of your pen there. Let's move on to events. This is key indicators that something's going to happen within your code or your scripts. When the flag is clicked, that's when, right up here, the flag here, that doesn't happen because there's no scripts right now, but that'll start everything. Or when a specific button is pressed, there's lots of different options here. Or when the sprite is clicked, stuff like that. Or when volume is a certain amount. Broadcasting, that's an interesting line of code there. It's probably the most used scripts, actually, because what you can do is send a message throughout the whole project, and then you place a when I receive this message, it will actually cause a new line of code to start. Yeah, and then we're going to move on to control. This is stuff like literally controlling your project. Like when you want to wait for something to happen, or you want a specific amount of code to repeat, or you want it to keep repeating until you stop the script. If something meets your requirements, you can use this. If something meets your requirements and you want it to, if it doesn't, you want something else to happen, then you do that. Then you would use this. Wait until is just like if, except it's literally going to wait until your requirements are met and then continue. And then repeat until is same idea, except it's like a combo for forever and wait until. And stop, that's obvious. When I start as a clone, cloning is something I will get into later, but you can literally make clones of your sprite. Sensing, that's getting your sprites to know when they're doing things. Like if it's touching another sprite, you can activate stuff. If it's touching a specific color, same idea, it'll start other things. You can ask questions. Here, I'll show you here. What's your name? And it'll actually ask, what's your name? And if I put in my answer, and it'll accept my answer. And I'll get further into that in more videos, because there's this here which you can use, and I will explain that later. When a key is pressed, it can sense that, or when the mouse is clicked, that's what it means by mouse down. And mouse X and mouse Y is your position on this project screen here. Loudness, that's again volume, video, motion, and other stuff on this sprite, video direction. Turn video on, that sort of stuff, timer. yeah, and then you move on to operators, which will help with your control and your sensing uh, scripts. Basically, that's it's kind of hard to describe. Basically, each block will has its own little thing. Like plus, you can make variables, and I'll get into those later as well. You can make them add a set value, or you can subtract, multiply, divide, that sort of thing. And then if you want to pick random, you can use that to create an amount of different possibilities that can happen. Then you have your less than, equal to, and greater than. That will work with your if statements and anything like that. To meet, like, once you meet certain requirements, that's what will allow you to do that. Your and statements, which is two set requirements that you can put into your if blocks and any else like it. Your or statements, which is it meets this requirement, or if, like, say you had something where your variable is set all the time, and then you could have not. So when it's finally not that, you can have something happen. These join, letter, and length of, and mod and round, actually, I haven't gotten into yet, but I probably will. Same with this one here. It looks like just some simple mathematical stuff. But yeah, I probably won't get too far into that because I'm not really sure what it'll do for everyone. Let's move into data. See, you make your variables here. So if I say variable, you have now your variable up here, and if you change your variable by 1, it'll change up here. And that's how you can use, that's a controlling aspect of Scratch here. You can, when variables are equal to certain things, you can have things happen. When it's not, then nothing will happen, but that's just something used to control. And you can even use it as a scoring system if you want. And yeah, there's really so many possibilities with Scratch. One more thing, I'm going to go over more blocks. You can make a block, and let's call it block, if I can type. Alright, and then, yeah, I won't get into the options, but define block, you can, for example, say, I'm going to use some of the stuff I did. Well, motion, which is all obvious, move 10 steps, operators, yeah, I'll leave it at that. And now you have this here, and when flag clicked, alright, I'm just going to clean this up, and then when the flag is clicked, he moves 10 steps. I don't know if you saw that, but I will just spam flag so you see his movement. Alright, so there's stuff like that. And I will start getting into basic projects in my next videos. Hopefully I might even have a couple up tonight if I feel like it. But yeah, that's basically the different types of scripts in Scratch. I'd almost recommend going over this video a couple times just so you can go over what I've said and what's going on. But in the future videos, I will be re-explaining, and it'll start to make sense as they fit in. Scratch has so many possibilities, and that's mainly the reason why I'm doing these videos, is to teach you all what it's capable of. There are unlimited possibilities for what you can do just by mixing the code. You can use variables can be used in so many different ways. You can use motion sprites to cause different things to happen. You can even create your own video, like just like making your sprites do constant things. You can make just, there's so many different possibilities, and hopefully you start to learn with what I'm teaching, and yeah, there's not a lot to say. Thanks for watching, and I hope you watch my next video. Thanks.